Hey, it's DBJ. What is collaborative storytelling? Collaborative storytelling simply is each person at the table, and I say table because you can be online, but each person at the table, every player, two, three, eight players, and a game master, dungeon master, storyteller, flame tender, they all have in their mind what it is that will happen and how the world will turn out. Each player has their own story for their character. Game master has a story for the game. But the minute that they encounter each other, the very minute that there is interaction with the world, the very minute those players start talking to each other, that's when it becomes collaborative. And this is when all the things you've held dear about how you want your character to be, all the things that as the game master, the storyteller, flame tender that you had, those things may change. And it's allowing those changes to happen organically as the game goes along, to allow choices to be made, allow players to confront their fears, to engage in drama, to allow them to, your players to not be afraid to show weakness and reward that to tell a better story than to play an arms race where the players are all quote unquote ganging up on the dungeon master to try to destroy his setting and his game. I've been in many games where it felt like I was a foreign country and the players' only job was to stockpile as much as they could to find every loophole just to get over. And it's not the game master against the players. It should never be the game master against the players. I'm of the age now where I can play the weakest, dumbest, most battle-worn, invalid player character, and I'll just have some fun. I don't need to make all my rolls. I don't need to be the perfect person in combat. I don't need to be the best social interactor. I'll be a sidekick. I don't care. I'll have my stats one less than every other person's lowest stat, and I can still have fun. I'll just make a story around it, and I'll interact with the players. And sure, I may not survive long, but what does that mean? I'll play another game. I mean, if all your players are dead, then there's kind of no point in having a game. So there is a point at which after your character dies that you'll just make another one. I mean, it's not really that big a deal. So collaborative. Here's another part of being collaborative, and that is when you make a player character, there are some things that you want your character to hold dear. Okay, let's go with the classic paladin. Honor, duty, honesty, destroying evil, yes. But there has to be an element where every person at the table is allowed to give just a little bit. You give just a little bit to tell a better story. Just a little bit. Does the paladin accept the fact that there's an assassin in the group and the assassin accept the fact that there's a paladin in the group? Yes. How? By telling a great story. There's always a way where you can argue with someone else. I don't like your character doesn't like mine, there's no reason they should be together. Unless they're related. Unless they're married. Unless, they're brother and sister. Unless the church that the paladin works for has hired this assassin for years, and this assassin has been doing the work of the church, and the paladin is ordered to go into battle with this person. There's always ways to make stories. They're brother and sister. Maybe they chose different paths in life. And the paladin is like the good cop detective, and the assassin is like the criminal. And yeah, they both love their mom. Yeah, we'll do what she says because, hey, we've been sisters for a long time, And, we have a love-hate relationship, but mom says we got to work together, and she's in trouble. She was captured by a horde of orcs taken back to their camp. So you sure as hell know we're going to work together to solve this problem. Can it be a temporary, solution? Sure. But maybe something more permanent comes out of it. Maybe the assassin sees how devoted and how strong, what the convictions are of her sister, the paladin. Maybe the paladin sees that some choices in life were made where you have to make those bad choices. And maybe wasn't there for her sister when she had to make these bad choices in life. And maybe they start to not necessarily see eye to eye, but see the other person's point of view. And that makes just a better story. It turns an enemy into just someone to have conflict with, a growing conflict, a conflict that latches two people who are at opposite sides of the spectrum together in their motivations and their modus operandi. Collaborative, to make a better story with other people. That's what collaboration is about. And yes, before the game starts, you should decide what's going on. If the game master says, hey, listen, everyone's going to be a knight and you're all going to gather together as knights, you collaborate and you say, well, I don't want to play a paladin. Can I play a ranger? You start to work together with the story. Yeah, you can play a ranger. You don't have to necessarily be dressed in green, running around in the woods to play a ranger. You're part of a knighthood that incorporates many people. There's a movie called King Arthur with Clive Owen and some other people in it. I don't remember who everybody else was in it. But in that one, one child was given from every village and sent to the king and serve as the king's guard to protect the borders of the country. So you could have a mage and a cleric and a rogue and a druid all together in one group, fighting as members of the Round Table. According to that story, you could come from an area where maybe one small village they have mages, and another small village they have druids, another small village they have rogues, and all these people work together to achieve one common goal. Those things are possible if you collaborate. If you stick to your guns, I'm not changing my character. It's stupid. I want to play a barbarian. And everyone's like, well, we're not all playing barbarians, and we're not playing in a game that was centered around barbarians. You were told we were playing characters that are part of the court. We were going to be part of the political system. Now you're just being an a-hole if you don't want to collaborate with others. Because maybe there's a chance and you say, well, listen, okay, the next game, I want to play a barbarian. Let's all be from the woods. Try to collaborate. And maybe there are those people who just won't bend on anything. There's plenty of people that won't bend on anything. But being able to collaborate together with someone is always better. Always better, because you will learn so much. I've learned about people's personalities and their interests from those that have commented on videos. And I understand the rabbit hole that you can go down, because there's always someone who will always disagree with anything you have to say. For whatever reason. They wake up in the morning and go, let's see, brush teeth, get something to eat. Oh yeah, get online and just hate on people. I'm not sure what joy that brings. But there are those that will do that. And I still learn from them. I learned that there are people that are not like that. I learned there are people that hate. I haven't been subject to that yet, but I don't know, maybe one of these days I will be. And just find out that, you know what, it's so much better to grow and to be positive. It's so much better. So anyway, I've started to rant on this long enough for you guys. Be collaborative. Collaborative storytelling is just basically making a story, learning to bend just a little bit. Give 10%. If everybody at the table gives 10%, now give 20%. Everyone gives 20%, and you can make a great story that way. Has nothing to do with character builds, monsters, treasure, or anything of that nature. All right, so as always, I sign off. Create, don't destroy. Create a better environment for your game. Don't be destructive. Don't destroy this really great and obnoxiously awesome hobby that we have. You know, we're getting a lot more people invested into the hobby, coming at it from different realms. And I would love to see it grow and to become an even greater concept. So thank you guys.